Coming in here with the first match of the Copa Virginia 2022 Summer Men's Absolute Division. We have James Peirano on the right and Edgar Tran in the brown belt gi. Edgar coming in with a nice trip. James responded by standing back up and countering with his own takedown. James gets the 2 for that takedown.
And now Edgar hunting for that Kimura.
The ref's stopping him, checking the position, making sure everything's okay, and he's going to try to move him back to the center because they're just about off the mat.
Maybe thought he had a possible illegal grip. I'm not 100% sure. We'll get a little shimmy shake to get back to the center of the mat to try to keep this position.
Doing his best to maintain the position the way that it was so that there's no advantages given here for this break. And we're back on that action.
Edgar looking to elevate with that Kimura grip, rolling through, gets it, comes around on top with it, back to guard. Good defense by James.
Nice execution and nice defense. That was just good jiu-jitsu all around. James climbing up for the body lock pass here, laying heavy down, but Edgar's doing a nice job with reaching his arm over top of James's shoulder to try to clear some space to get back to a full guard. And now we're settled into full guard for Edgar here.
The thing with full guard and body locking becomes a little bit more difficult. You need to have your opponent's guard at least open and starting to work through, or you're kind of just staying in that same position. Edgar being more active at the moment, pushing away, trying to overhook an arm, push away a head.
Right, when the guard is closed around that body lock, it's difficult to actually execute anything. And I think that James realized that. He opened up his body lock. Now he's laying heavy onto Edgar's hips. Edgar looking to generate some momentum by getting grips. Keeping that guard closed, though. Does look like Edgar's giving up a couple pounds here. That's the kind of thing we see in the Absolute. Looks for the hip bump sweep. And James takes advantage of that guard open to step over into half guard and lock that body lock back up.
And then going high up to the head to flatten out Edgar. Edgar working in the arm, trying to punch away at the head and create a little bit more space, potentially open up again. He was looking briefly for the foot to potentially toe hold.
That was a nice technique progression from James up on top. Stepping over into half guard, body lock, high pressure pass.
And again, right back to the body lock, knowing that Edgar is hunting for that Kimura grip, knowing that he's good with elevating with it, creating space. Now, if James just keeps pressuring down and actually steps through, he'll be able to pass with this body lock still intact. He decides to let go and address the arms that are pushing away at him. And once again, Edgar hunting for that Kimura.
Edgar's doing a really nice job keeping that Kimura grip, but one of the main things that's doing is it's keeping his back off the mat. James wants to flatten him out, and so this is a nice back and forth battle between Edgar reaching up, getting his back off the mat, and James flattening him back out. Ref checking the position again. We're going to move back to the center of the mat.
Could have also easily rotated him 180 degrees and pushed him from that point.
We're reset here, back to the action. Edgar with a nice butterfly hook, trying to create some space, thinking about elevating, but more importantly, I think he just wanted to get that space away. And we're back up to neutral.
Posting on the head, Edgar probably looking to pull guard once again, potentially go for that butterfly pushover sweep. Oh, changes it up, shoots for the double, but gets stuffed and taken over.
A nice looking bully double from Edgar, but James does a good job setting his hips in, driving forward, and stuffing it. Responds with a counter of his own, ends up on top inside control. We have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the match. James is up 4-0.
Electing to go down towards the waist lock, keeping control, not staying too heavy to get bucked off, but staying behind him. Once again, Edgar right back onto that Kimura grip, trying to hunt for it.
Now this waist lock is a really stable position for James up on top, but it also becomes a little difficult to progress your position.
And he takes him over with that Kimura grip once again. That must be his go-to move from those positions. He's now attacking the arm still. If he clears his left leg, he could actually back up and potentially take the back.
I think he's also looking for that topside face-down arm bar here. He's got the arm locked in tight with the Kimura, and Edgar is trying to creep his top leg over top of James's back. He's got his heel into the hip, gives up on that, James locks in the hips and starts scooting around the outside.
Goes to that waist ride right there. Is under the legs and on the waist, keeping Edgar in place for the most part. Edgar is going to have to either turn away and start to try to run or go back to his Kimura grip once again. Very comfortable with that grip, very confident that James isn't going to go anywhere once he locks it in.
James here is up, though, so that while that Kimura grip seems to be working for Edgar, it's not stopping. It's not generating any points for Edgar.
Once again, that roll through going right back. Very comfortable from that half guard position, comfortable from this body lock position, but he's got to start moving. He's got 2 minutes left to start scoring or grab a submission. Escaping the back while attacking the Kimura.
Briefly looking for the ankle lock there from Edgar. Clearing the foot. Does a nice job clearing the foot right before the James gets his second hook in. So no points scored on this back attack yet.
Once again, peeling the hands, but gives up that position once again. Back to the referee's position. Holding the wrists, potentially coming up. He could roll through for that knee bar or the roll through for the heel hook from that position.
James setting himself back into this low body lock, this waist lock position again. And again, this is a good maintenance position, but it's challenging to generate any momentum or move into progression from there. Edgar does a nice job rolling forward, and we're back up to neutral.
Now will we see the shot or the guard pull this time? Guard pull.
And then back up. We have just less than a minute, just under a minute left in the match. James is up 4-0. 3 adds for each competitor here. Edgar was looking for the single leg come up there, I think, and then James recognized it and dropped his shoulders down in heavy, preventing Edgar from really getting to the leg. Now we're back into this position where Edgar's looking for that Kimura lock again. James is playing low at the waist with the waist grip, keeping his chest nice and low, moves up to a high-pressure passing position here with the arm triangle setup. Still in half guard, so he's not really threatening a submission here, but could use it to pass. Edgar creates a little space, goes back to the full guard, and is looking to attack that far arm there.
Now we're in that full guard kind of position. James very confident with the 4 seconds left.
And we have time. James takes this match 4-0 after some dominant pressure passing on top. Edgar looked really good trying to get into that Kimura grip, but wasn't able to generate any points off that. So we have James taking it.